coffee liqueur and coffee, the main ingredient, that's what it's all centered around. It's all centered around the coffee. Make sure your coffee is as fresh as possible. And you can't really go wrong. Some of those were really sweet, some were a bit more bitter that we just made. There's a lot of variables when you're balancing the cocktail, bitterness and sweet. To recap, the strength of the coffee masks the booziness of the vodka. Next, I'm going to introduce this next cocktail. Is Nikki Baker still here? Is she gone? Well, the lady who's put this event on, she's kindly invited me to do a cocktail competition, and it had to be based around dessert cocktails. This was about half a year ago, and I've decided that I'm going to do that cocktail again. So we've started with the espresso martini, which is a bit sweet. We're not doing anything fruity today. I saw Piccolino did something fruity, which is good. It means at least we've covered different areas of the palate. Umami, we're going to call it, the perfect balance of flavour, perfect-ish. It's cheese board, a smoked cheese board, applewood smoked. Harrogate blue infused gin martini, served with Granny Smith apple. Where is this going to go? But yeah, it's an idea. The techniques involved, using a hand smoker that I broke, infused gins. You're always taking into consideration the science behind the cocktail. I'm not a scientist. But well, I guess I know in the wood chips, we use apple wood chips. There's polyphenols which give it a really sweet aroma, and if you smoke it just right, it shouldn't be really charred and horrible. It should be okay. We did a practice run earlier and it was lovely. Where was I? What was I talking about? Yeah. So gin martini. And that's what it's called. It's a technique, it's a word I don't really like to use too much, but it's called molecular gastronomy. Heston, he made it famous, that the bald guy who cooks. he made it famous. It's just a technique which you're kind of taking into consideration your senses more than just that tastes nice, I'll serve that. It's how it looks, it's how it's presented, and you're just thinking a little bit deeper. That's the simplest way to put it. You're thinking a little bit more into it. So, I'm not going to do that bit yet. The blue cheese martini, it's really easy to prepare. It's hard to prepare for, which I've already done, so that's good. I've used Harrogate blue, just a really quite intense, quite creamy cheese, and I've filtered it through a coffee filter. So there's still going to be some tiny little bits of cheese in there. It divides opinion. Let's say that. I think it's nice, but I like pretty much anything. So we'll get started. How are you doing with those apples, Chris? Excellent, excellent. Right, so I've got my cheese. I'm going to go for it. We're going to start stirring it. Should we get some more of those glasses up as well? Right, we'll quickly chop some of these. I've got my back to you, sorry. I'm just cutting some Granny Smith apple. Lovely. So can you hear me eating? Very nice. So, the idea is that umami. I really like that word. So I've got a board for the cheese board. It's that balance of acidity and savoury, and it should actually work together. It's a relatively serious cocktail, kind of. I'll try run around again in a bit. How am I doing for time? I'm okay. 5 or 10 minutes. Loads of time. I can go, I'm the last one as well, I can go over. Headline spot for some reason. Who knows why? But yeah, let's get started. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Sorry, I start talking and then it just it just keeps going. Right. Would you like to stir some with me, Chris? Fantastic. As you see, big dry ice cubes. This one, we're stirring this one. We want as much control of the dilution as possible. It'll dilute a lot quicker if you have those little rubbish, small, wet ice cubes. So, and there's no particular, when you come to taste it, there's not, ooh, you must sip this and take a bite out of this and smell this. I mean, there is a little bit more thought going into mixing the drink, but there's no snobbery around it. That's why we're two really cool dudes with our sleeves rolled up. There's no snobbery, and there's nothing wrong with formality either. I think waistcoats and suit, it looks a really nice bit of theatre, but I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. You get the gist though, I think. Let me know if you're getting bored. So what I'm doing is, I've done 50ml, this is one martini. I've done 50ml of the cheese Harrogate Blue infused gin. I've used Beefeater. It's affordable. It's a really good London dry gin. I've done quite a lot of kind of research into gin and what's better than what. The martini, why don't I tell you about the gin martini? It's perfect. Vermouth, but very underrated, the most underrated fortified wine, if you ask me. It's fortified, it's infused with herbs and spices. Gin is essentially vodka. It's a neutral grain spirit that's then been flavoured and infused with herbs and spices, namely juniper. That's the star of the show. And you get all these earthy, herbal flavours. Same with the vermouth, but it's the grape and the grain. Absolutely made. They're made for each other, made for cocktails. Cheese, we're about to find out. So we're stirring it. We're holding the bottom on that thick rim there. So the idea, we're not warming the cocktail up. We're having this, I've said it over the dilution, and I'm carefully just guiding it round. I'm gonna have a taste.
How long does the cheese take to infuse?
It took 2 days this. 2 days, so but I put loads in. I was like, right, I forgot about that thing I'm doing. Get the cheese in the gin.
How long did you have to
Well, right at the end I just did it through one coffee filter, but the last time I did it I did 2, and the time before that was 3, and when I did 3 coffee filters it was almost clear, but it wasn't overly cheesy, but it was really oily. It had taken on this really nice texture, which was really good. And you can also do something called chill filtering. Stop still. Called chill filtering. Yeah. Is that okay? You can be honest. I'll taste this one. That's what it should taste like. Good or bad, you decide. Yeah, right, this is the tricky part. This is the tricky part. This is where no smoke alarms. Good. You know it's good when there's no smoke alarms. Being a pyromaniac. I'm sorry? Oh yeah, the wood chips. This is why I've got Chris to help out. He remembers the wood chips. Right. Let's start pouring. Yeah, do. Help! Harrogate Blue infused gin martini smoked with applewood chips. As I said earlier, polyphenols present in the wood give it that really sweet aroma. Also, I read that the polyphenols give raspberries their flavour. I think I read that. That's all I have to say. I think I read that in a book. Right, was this the clean one?
Yes.
Very good. And we're starting to pour. Whoops. Yeah, we'll do a bit less. You're not going to need too much, I don't think. Little tasters of it. Espresso martinis you can quaff. You might be like, why is he splitting them in half? When you taste it, you'll be like, yeah, should we? In fact,
That's all you need.
we'll take these out, and then if the people of Sheffield like it, we'll do some more. And if not, there's plenty of blue cheese gin left. If you want to hang on. If you want to hang on, I'll talk you through it, the idea behind the cocktail. Obviously now, I want to get through it and give you a little taste of what I've been up to. A lot of you are like, get on with it. So we'll get on with it. Whoops, did that twice now. So, here we go. Moment of truth. We're smoking the cocktail. Okay, I'm happy to do this. Thank you. That's very kind. What a lovely thing to say.